This is the plaintiff, Naomi Cruz. She says she hired the defendant to cater her daughter's quinceañera party, celebrating her big birthday. The defendant knew she was going to have 200 people in attendance, and horror of horrors, they ran out of food and some people didn't get to eat. This is totally unacceptable, and she wants a refund, so she's suing for $2,778. This is the defendant, Paul Rivera. He says the plaintiff wasn't sure how many people she was having, and when all was said and done, there were 235 people who showed. He feels bad some people didn't get to eat his delicious food, but how's a mess up on the amount of people on the plaintiff's guest list his problem? He's accused of playing Hunger Games.
All parties, please raise your right hand. Be seated. Come to order, please. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Okay, Naomi Cruz, you are suing Paul Rivera, doing business as Lydia's Catering?
Yes, sis.
All right, for $2,778 that you want reimbursed, which is the payment you made to him for food for your daughter's quinceañera.
16.
16 or quinceañera? You call it both things. Quinceañera, we do it at 15. What did you do it at, 16?
Sweet 16.
So did you call it a sweet 16s, or you just couldn't help yourself and called it a quinceañera?
Sweet 16.
Sweet 16. Were you born here? All right. How many generations can we hold on, you know? All right, so talk to me. What happened?
Well, I basically hired him to be the caterer for the Sweet 16. I met up with him back in January a few times. Of course, you know, a lot of planning, a lot of dedication.
What day was your party?
March 24th.
Okay. How'd it go? Other than this, how'd it go?
Other than that, it was
Okay.
successful.
Go ahead.
Beautiful. And basically, the first thing I actually saw was the menus. And I kind of wanted a little different in the menu, because usually Spanish people always have the arroz con gandules, pernil, such type of foods. Of course, it's all delicious, but I wanted
Arroz
it just
con
a little
gandules
different.
would be rice with,
Peas,
and pernil would be
pork,
Right, go ahead.
roasted pork,
Yeah.
with delicious
I mean,
garlic.
I just licked my lips.
Yeah.
I saw that.
Honest to God.
And that's
All right, so
actually
go on.
the main point, you know, the tasting, the flavor, the way my grandmother cooks, everything that I wanted at this
In
event.
fact, your grandmother wanted to cook for this event.
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me about that.
She was really excited about cooking. Not only her, but I had aunts, I had friends that were all willing to bring
So why
different
didn't you do
dishes.
that?
Because I didn't want to put everybody through the stress. I really wanted to do everything on my own, which I practically did.
How old's your grandmother?
She's 95.
And oh, good. Que Dios la bendiga, señora. Oh my goodness. God bless her. But she really wanted to cook for all those people?
Well, she was going to chip in. She was going to do most of the cooking. Her rice is delicious. I wish I would have brought a sample.
I know, me too. I wish you would have brought a sample too, you know?
Yes.
All right. Okay, so you decide to hire the caterer.
Yes.
You enter into a contract. Do you have a copy of the contract?
Yes, I do.
May I see it? And do you have a copy as well?
Yes, ma'am.
May I see it? I'd like making sure we're all operating off the same document.
This is the actual contract, and this is the final notice that was supposed to be signed at the end of when we arrived to the place. So there's two contracts. There's one where
Why would there be two contracts? Are they the
there's
same
actually
thing?
it's the
Yeah.
same thing.
Okay, okay.
Just confirming everything.
Okay.
That threw me off also.
So what happens?
What happened? Empanadillas were supposed to be served.
Wait, how many people were you supposed to have?
Approximately a little over 200, about 215, I think.
Wait, hold on.
Probably
Where is
came.
that on the contract?
That's and the very first one. That's the very first one when we actually met, Your Honor.
Guests 200.
No, it was actually supposed to be 160, Your Honor.
Right, but who wrote in red all
I
of it?
wrote in red because
You
at the
did.
day of the event, she actually approached me, telling me, Your Honor, that she did not want to pay for 200 guests because she was not sure of how many people were supposed to be arriving to her event, and she was not willing to pay $3,900 for people that she was not sure that she needed to get back all the RSVP. She had a guest list or a guest count, and she needed.
Wait. Rewind.
Okay.
Not true.
Everybody rewind. Okay. When you originally speak to the caterer, on what date?
It was on the 18th of February. That was the first time we met.
Okay, and
His
the
initials
party's
are
on March 24th of that year. So the party's a month later. Well, it's kind of close. All right, so
Very
that's when you
close.
meet and you tell them it'll be 160 people.
Yes.
At some point before March 24th, did you tell him it would be more than 100?
Yes.
When did you tell him that?
It was about February 27th, February 28th.
Okay, so the
Give
end
and
of
take.
February, you're telling me that you tell him at this party 3 weeks from now,
That we were going to have 200.
we're going to have 200
200
people.
guests.
For sure.
For
because
sure.
you already had your RSVPs.
Yes, and he, as a matter of fact, he came to the cater place. He came to the hall about 2 or 3 occasions, and we kept. As a matter of
I
fact,
don't know why that tells him how many people are
his
going to show.
handwriting is on the back of that contract. As far as all the seating arrangements, that was all his sketches.
Is this your handwriting?
Yes, Your Honor.
When did you draw this?
That was on February 18th.
Okay, so 29 times 7 tables would be 203 people.
Yes.
That's okay. So on February 18th, you knew there would be 203 people.
I did not know. She did not confirm with me. She told me, yes, I'm sending out invitations. I'm sending out flyers, but the number is not confirmed of how many people is going to be at this party.
So when did you get the number confirmed?
Plaintiff threw a quinceanera party for her daughter and says the caterer cheaped out the food and some people went hungry. Let's listen.
I never got the number confirmed. She kept
How are
on.
you going to cook if you don't know?
The number that I was
Exactly.
going by was the number that was I gave her on the contract was for 120 people that she paid for.
No, but I mean, oh wait, so you brought food for 120 when the woman's already told you there's going to be 200? We already have a problem.
She
I have
never,
pictures.
on my contract is confirming of the menu and confirming of guest counts. She was supposed to submit with me 5 days before the event.
But why don't you want this to be a success, right?
Yes.
So 5 days before the event, shame on her for not contacting you. But what about you? Why aren't you calling her and telling her,
I
oh
did.
yeah, I need to
I
know
did.
200. I want to know how it is that you didn't, because you're the guy with the stress and trying to make sure everything goes well and trying to cook for the right amount of people so that it's not a debacle.
Yes.
So why aren't you calling her to confirm?
I've been talking to her, and every time we called and every time she wanted to meet up with me, it was about the ranging of where the people are going to go.
No, stop. We're already done arranging. We've
Okay.
arranged to high heaven. Now what we're talking about is the final conversation. Yes, I am confirming for 200.
She never confirmed with
Right,
me.
I understand that's what you're saying. She never did
Okay.
that. My question to you is, why did you, on the day that you're deciding how many to cook for and you realize a customer has not called you to confirm, why aren't you calling her to confirm?
I have been explaining every time we met, besides the February 18th, every time I went to meet the client at the location, do you have the guest count? Do you know your RSVPs? Oh, I'm not sure yet. No one has got back into me.
But how is it that the day before you don't call her and tell her what's that's it?
The day before I was there, Your Honor, she was like, oh, I'm still trying to work out the seating. I'm still trying to work out to
The
see what
day
people.
before?
Yes.
All
the
right,
day
watch
before,
this.
that Friday.
Watch this. What's going on? How do you not come? Because you can't think that you're going to pay the same for 160 as you are for 200.
Absolutely.
Right. Absolutely. You know that you're going to pay more. So, right?
Right.
Okay. So how is it? The only person I know doesn't have to worry about this is her. She should be, Emma, sit down. Siéntate. Have a great time. Sit down, relax, put your feet up if you like. Okay? That's her day. She's got to worry about hair and nails and dates and dancing. She does not have to worry about this. This job belongs to you and to him.
Yes.
Okay. Now that I've grilled him like a cheeseburger, I'd like to know where your head was at. I want to understand the conversation you two have about how many people are involved.
The night before, I stressed it so much for him to come because I was so worried about not having enough food. Everything on the contract was not promised. What happened to the appetizers? They never showed up. My grandmother was the first one there. And they were never served. The sangria, I don't know what that was. The wine was watered down. Every single text message from my friends and family that came from Florida were like, Naomi, what happened? You planned this for so many months.
Wait, I saw those, but I assume that those were all in preparation for court. Like, your friends and family aren't that rude, right? That they're just telling you, your party's still.
Oh, no.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
you
yeah,
said
yeah.
to them, I'm
Yeah.
going to court, give me some evidence.
Yes,
Right?
yes. The soda,
Okay.
I believe, I think that's when Ashley wants to say.
Ran out at 10:30.
Okay, you have to, if you're going to speak, you have to stand up and go to the microphone.
The
Thank you.
soda ran out at 10:30. After my performance, I went to go get something to drink. There was tap water.
What performance?
I performed.
What'd you do?
Dance.
You danced?
see.
Did you have a whole court and everything?
Yeah.
And what's a court? Tell me what a court is for the uninitiated.
My court consists of 16 girls, and then
Right.
my partner and my brother and my sister.
Okay, you also sang?
No, I just danced.
Oh, okay, you danced.
Yeah.
Did you dance like you personally? You alone danced?
Yeah, me and a company that I'm with.
Okay.
So we all performed, and after I'm done, I'm thirsty. So I went to get something to drink, and can I have soda? There's no soda. They bring me a pitcher of tap water. Don't want it. My friends come to me. The biggest table at the party was my school friends. Not one of my school friends ate. They all went out and got McDonald's and got Kenny's Fried Chicken and came back to the party and ate that.
At your party?
At my party. Because they did not eat.
How many people did you tell him were coming? What was the final count you gave him?
200.
I'm not asking you, sweetie.
200.
Okay. When and how did you give him that final count?
The day before.
Okay. And according to you, that happened or that didn't happen?
That never happened, miss.
Then can you explain? It's not miss,
Sorry.
it's judge.
Judge.
And welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. Why are quinceañera parties so much more fun than regular birthday parties?
Mexicans know how to party. They love cerveza, they love piñatas, and they dress really well.
Okay, well, that's a good theory. What do you think?
I think just because a lot of families gather together and just have, it's a
Yeah, but a lot of families gather together, and it's not crazy fun. Why is it crazy fun? Anybody else? And why is it crazy fun with quinceañera parties?
People get really drunk and
Oh, there you go. An honest woman. An honest woman going inside the courtroom.
First of all, you hand me a layout that you drew for her that would indicate that there's 203 people. That's problem number one for you.
Okay.
Problem number two for you is you've told me that in red is all of your handwriting and
Yes.
that this takes place well before the party.
Yes.
And in your handwriting, you've crossed out 160 and you've put 200.
Yes. Yes.
And yet you look me in the eye and testify, raise your hand to God and testify
Okay.
that you didn't know there were going to be 200.
Okay, I knew there was going to be 200 people as long as she confirmed with me that there was going to be 200 people so that I would have the food to supply for the 200 people.
But if you
originally
changed
paid.
it on the contract,
Yes.
how am I supposed to believe you that there was something more she needed to do? What else does she need to do? Send you smoke signals, tattoo it on you? You changed the contract.
I understand.
So if you change the contract, how much am I supposed to believe you that you just still didn't know, didn't get the final word, didn't get the math to
No,
when?
I knew that, but they also came in concerned that she needed to verify with me. It was a verified because she did not want to pay for the 200 people. So I was trying to be a nice guy. She did not want to pay for the 200 people.
What did the nice guy do? You showed up with food for how many?
For 145 people.
145. The woman had 160 on the contract to begin with before you amended it to 200. So why wouldn't you at least show up with food for 160?
Yeah, I did. I stopped serving.
You did?
I stopped serving at a certain point. I stopped serving because I noticed that there was no more food. There was not going to be food for the line that was coming, and there was still 5 more tables that needed to be served.
So what'd you do?
I had to stop serving. I had
What'd
to
you
stop
say?
serving. I had to stop serving. I told my team we're gonna stop serving. I had to go reconcile myself. I said, listen, I have to go and try to figure out where I'm gonna get the more food. I have food that I already had prepped ahead of time, so that just in case something happened or emergency happened, we were gonna go out and get the food. But by this time, it was already 9:45, 10 o'clock, and I was saying, I'm like, by the time we get the food and we go over to this, there was gonna be too much.
What kind of caterer are you?
Oh my
Honest to God, what kind of caterer are you?
Okay.
You have food just in case this happens, only you can't access it because it's too late. That's not food just in case this happens. Food just in case this happens is in the kitchen.
Okay.
Where did you have that food?
I had it in my kitchen where we cook at in our.
Why would you not have it? What the hell good is it going to do you in that kitchen somewhere else where you can't access?
Because originally I was going by for what she originally spoke about. She spoke to me that she was going for 160
people. The 200 that you
people.
amended on the contract?
No, for 160 people. She said, listen,
You know what? Honest to God, if I was starving, I wouldn't hire you.
Okay.
Seriously, this is horrible.
Okay.
It's funny. People are like, it's not that funny. Mercifully, you had a good time and you understand that this is not what it's about. But this is a humiliation.
Okay.
To throw a party that you work on and you dream about, all your life, and then next thing you know, your friends can't even eat and they got to go to KFC. Oh my God. How do you put a figure on this? How do you put a figure on ruining a party? Because it's really, I deal in real damages in court. I have to assess some kind of ballpark figure on this that is appropriate, that doesn't pretend he didn't feed anybody at your party, but takes into account the humiliation. And frankly, do not say a word.
Okay.
The arrogance of rewriting the contract, amending it, writing 200, and then saying, oh, no, she didn't get back to me. She didn't get back to me 42 times, and no, I came with 145, food for 100. I got to take all that into consideration. What went from that side to that side? 2,778? Is that the amount that went over to that from that? I'm ordering you to return $1,778 to the plaintiff. Verdict for the plaintiff.
Thank you.
Well, here he is. The caterer is out here on the losing end of this case, not looking very good during that testimony. Why is that all right?
No, it's fine. You know, I try to do my best on my services, and I try to go with the lady. She did not want to pay for the 200 people. She only wanted to pay for 120 people, and that's where I was going by. I was going by that I was doing my part and trying to help her out and not paying $3,900 for the people that she was not sure that she was going to have.
Stopping serving food to the guests. Was that a good idea?
No, that was not a good idea, and I take that into my consideration. It was my fault, and maybe I should have not done that.
Mm-hmm.
And I do provide my services, and I do try to give everything that I can give to the customers. With the bar, I did not charge her for the bar, I did not charge her for the soda, and I didn't charge her for the liquor. At the end of the day, she ended up paying only for the food.
All right, right that way. All right, so.
Thank you, guys.
All right, so step on in here. Boy, you look very serious, even though you just did win the judgment here in court. What's going through your mind now?
Actually, I'm satisfied. And I am very, very pleased that we settled this. It was very stressful, the whole entire planning of my daughter's Sweet 16, and then to come to find out that I had to be stressed after this. So I'm just glad that
Come on, you know how to make a good time out of a party, no matter what the circumstances, don't you?
Yes.
Over to Harvey.
Well, there you go. The bottom line here is that the defendant's the one who wrote 200 in the contract. He can't go back to the original 160. He screwed up. He has to pay. That will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.